This video will be a full tour and documentation of this 2012 Chevrolet Suburban 1500 LT.
This one is painted in what looks like victory red with some custom pinstriping. Although according to the VIN this is a 2012, victory red is not listed as one of the exterior colors for that year. I gotta admit this left me a bit stumped, but either way it looks nice.
The front door panels do have storage areas with bottle holders. You get power windows, door locks, and mirrors. Both front seats are 3-stage heated, and the driver's seat also has 2-person memory.
It has an ebony interior, and this LT does have leather seat upholstery.
Both front seats are fully powered. And now, let's go ahead and start the engine. On the remote, you've got the buttons for lock, unlock, remote start, panic, power tailgate release, and with this button you can simply pop open the rear glass.
The Chevrolet Suburban, also sold at times as a GMC, holds the title of the longest-running automotive nameplate in the world. This beloved full-size SUV has been in almost continuous production since 1935. 87 years strong and showing no signs of stopping, the Suburban has just recently been completely redesigned from the ground up for 2021, meaning the Suburban is now in its 12th generation. This 2012 we have here represents the Suburban's 10th generation, which lasted from model years 2007 through 2014 with no real major facelifts. The 10th gen Suburban is part of GM's GMT900 generation of full-size SUVs, so that's what we'll mainly be covering next. The GMT900 platform was made from 07 to 2014 and it underpinned those years of Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra pickups, in addition to the 07 to 2014 General Motors full-size SUV lineup. As for said SUV lineup, you had the short wheelbase models, which were the 3rd generation Chevy Tahoe, GMC Yukon, and Cadillac Escalade. Then there were their stretched wheelbase counterparts, which were the 10th gen Suburban as seen here, the GMC Yukon XL, and the Cadillac Escalade ESV. The GMT900 SUV lineup also included the SUV pickup truck hybrids of sorts that were the 2nd gen Chevy Avalanche and Cadillac Escalade EXT. But after 2014, those two were discontinued and were not brought back for the newer platforms. While most of the GMT900 SUVs were half-ton models, the Suburban and the Yukon XL were also offered as 3/4 tons, in other words the Suburban and Yukon XL 2500. These were powered by the LY6 6-liter V8 out of the heavy-duty Silverados and Sierras. So the 2012 model year Chevy Suburban comes in 3 trim levels, LS, LT, and LTZ. LS and LT models are also available as the 3/4 ton Suburban 2500, but the LTZ is half-ton only. Suburban 1500 models get their power from a 5.3-liter V8 engine with 320 horsepower, while the Suburban 2500 has a larger 6-liter V8 with over 350 horses. The sole transmission is a 6-speed automatic, and you get the choice of either rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. The Suburban's top competitor back in 2012 would have been the Ford Expedition EL.
The instrument cluster houses 6 analog gauges, including your tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, and charging voltage gauge. And there is also a digital info display, quite a bit of stuff in it, along with settings. On the steering column on top, got your hazard light switch. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped, multifunctional steering wheel. As for controls, on this side you have your cruise control, and on this side you have your audio controls. It is a tilting steering wheel. It has a foot-operated parking brake. Right here is your trailer brake controller, your headlight switch, fog light button, panel dim, got your 4-wheel drive control, air vent for the driver. It does have a premium Bose sound system. Right here is your high beam, turn signal, and wiper stalk. It does have a column-mounted gear shifter, manual shiftability, along with tow haul mode. Putting it in reverse does reveal a backup camera. Going down the center of the interior, got your info display controls, air vents. Got your radio head unit right here. Does have Sirius XM. Got a CD player and an aux port. Above it is the DVD slot for your rear seat entertainment system. Right here are all the controls for your dual zone automatic climate control. Got a couple power outlets, your power adjustable pedals, parking sensors, and traction control. Got some storage, the remote for, I believe, the rear seat entertainment system, a removable set of cup holders, center console with a lot of storage. You also got another power outlet and a USB port. A little bit of a storage tray up on top as well. The glove box is lockable. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. Of course, OnStar on the rear view mirror, passenger airbag indicator, garage home link, overhead lighting, and your power tailgate release. Now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window. Both front windows are automatic down. And we'll have a look at the engine bay.
Standard on the LS and LT trims are these 17-inch 5-spoke alloy rims. So the Suburban 1500 gets its power from GM's Vortec 5.3-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. It's a 16-valve pushrod engine with active fuel management, and it's also flex fuel compatible, so it can run on either regular unleaded or E85 ethanol. It produces 320 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 335 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. This engine is paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission with a manual mode, and this one does have 4-wheel drive. It has a 31.5-gallon fuel tank, and EPA estimates are 15 mpg in the city and 21 mpg on the highway when running on regular unleaded. Running it on E85 does sacrifice fuel economy, but in return you get more power. It has a short and long arm front suspension and a solid axle multi-link rear setup. It also has 4-wheel ventilated disc brakes. Curb weight for 4-wheel drive Suburban 1500s is about 5,800 pounds. Suburban 1500s can also tow up to roughly 8,000 pounds.
As you saw earlier, the fuel cap is on the driver's side. Now, it is very easy to get into the third row. Just use two hands and pull this lever up and then flip the whole thing up. That gives you easy access into the third row. Anyways, first we'll check out the third row seats. Alright, here we are in the third row of seats in the Suburban. We got some storage with two cup holders on this side, and same thing on that side. And third row passengers get their own rear entertainment screen. So second and third rows get their own. And you even got that whole storage area behind there. Pretty good amount of space, even with all three rows up. That is, of course, why you buy a Suburban. You want to haul your whole family, plus a load of cargo, plus towing whatever you might want to tow behind you, like a boat or a trailer. Now, as for space, as someone who's about 6 foot to 6'1", legroom is not that good. Kind of have to spread my legs apart. Headroom is okay. My head is not quite touching the ceiling. For a third row seat, it's actually pretty decent because the legroom's all right once I spread my legs apart. It's not what I'd call comfortable or super comfortable, but there is, room to stretch around. And for a short trip, someone like me would probably be all right. And with this switch, just push that and the whole second row seat just automatically folds up, giving you easy egress. Anyhow, we'll take a look at the second row. Both front seats do have storage pockets on the backs. Got grab handles on the B-pillars, as well as up on here. Got coat hooks. Got your overhead lighting. And just like the third row, second row gets this rear entertainment system. So that's cool. This thing is really loaded. By the way, 3-stage heated second row seats. And this is only a Chevy Suburban. This isn't even the Escalade that's based on this. So, for many people, this is more than enough luxury and amenities. Just awesome. The nice half-ton truck-based SUV. You can pull something if you need to, with the whole family in there, and even more room behind the third row for cargo. I mean, outside of fuel economy and being hard to maneuver, this thing has quite a lot of advantages. But anyways, like I said, you had 3-stage heated second row seats. Got your rear climate controls, a rear set of climate controls. Also got rear radio controls, your AV inputs, power outlet. Got cup holders. Got a folding center armrest with 2 more cup holders. And as for space, as someone who's about 6 foot, 6'1", like again, headroom is really good. Legroom is pretty good. It's pretty comfortable in the second row. I did put the front seat where I'd have it if I was driving, so there's someone else smaller who was in front of me, I'd have even more legroom. Single exhaust, rear wiper. It does appear this one's been debadged. But like I was saying earlier, on this key you can open just the glass. Or of course, the whole thing. And it does have a power tailgate.
With all 3 rows of seats up, the Suburban still offers a generous 45.8 cubic feet of cargo space. Remove the third row and you now have 90 cubic feet of space. Finally, if you remove the third row and fold down the second row, cargo volume is now a cavernous 137.4 cubic feet.
Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2012 Chevrolet Suburban 1500. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.